in science this week, we're going to be incorporating art into science again because we aren't doing a lot of art in class at all because there is no art. But I think it's still a valuable thing, and putting it with science is a really good way to do it. So this is the sheet that you have this week. Here it is. It's got these 4 blank looking trees. Now, why do you think I gave you 4 identical blank trees? Whoa, interesting. We have 4 seasons. I wonder what I might want you to do. So what we're doing today is we are going to draw and color in each of these trees to show what each season looks like for that tree. Where we live, we get to see the changes in seasons very clearly. Some warmer places in the world and colder places, they don't really have season changes the way that we do. We're very blessed to live where we are because we get to see all of this different weather and different seasons. So let's start with spring. That's where we are right now. Spring is the time when leaves are just slowly beginning to come out. If you were to look out your window right now, you're probably going to see some trees that don't quite have leaves yet, some that have some pretty nice looking leaves, and you might even see some trees or bushes covered in beautiful flowers. My very favorite tree in the springtime is a crab tree. It gets covered in these really beautiful pink blossoms, and they smell beautiful. Oh, I used to live on a street that was just crab tree after crab tree, and in the springtime, every tree was covered in flowers and it smelled like a flower shop. And then at the end, all of the petals would fall on the ground. It would be this carpet of petals. It was beautiful. So that's springtime. Springtime for trees is little buds, little leaves, and big, beautiful flowers on some trees. What about summertime? Summertime's pretty easy too. We know that in the summer, the leaves are big, they are healthy, they are green, they are fully grown, and the trees in the summertime look the way that we usually picture a tree, with the nice healthy trunk, the nice big green leaves. What about autumn? How do trees look in the fall? Again, you guys know this. In the autumn, the leaves begin to die, and when they do that, God puts on this brilliant show. How amazing is it? I mean, the leaves are dying. God could have just made that look ugly. It's death. It should look ugly. But instead, he said, I actually have a really good, exciting, beautiful plan for death. We saw that when Jesus died on the cross. God made something extraordinarily beautiful of that. And we see that every fall with the leaves. Because as the leaves dies, the world becomes so beautiful with all the reds and oranges and yellows and still some greens in there. It's so beautiful. And they begin to fall to the ground. And we've talked in science also about how when the leaves fall, they compost on the ground and help give nutrients back into the soil. God has such a good plan in our seasons. Isn't that amazing? So that's what fall looks like in a tree. What about winter? Yeah, in winter, the tree's gonna look almost like it does on your page right now, except with some color. It looks bare. There are no leaves on it. It kind of looks like it's totally dead and it's never gonna come to life again. For your drawing, you can definitely put some snow on the ground and on the branches because that happens. Sometimes in winter we get an ice storm and all of the branches get covered in glittery, beautiful ice. That is a gorgeous thing that happens. And isn't it cool that God can take that winter tree that looks like it's just dead, and then we come into spring and somehow God miraculously starts bringing that tree back to life. We don't even understand it, but God has such a beautiful way of showing what his plan is for the world, even in our trees and their seasons. We see death and then life coming out of death, even when we look at trees in the springtime. How incredible is that? God didn't have to do that. He could have just said, here's a tree. I gave you a tree. That's a really amazing thing. And it would have been. But instead, he gave us these trees that go through the seasons and show the gospel in the way that their leaves change colors and die and then come back to life. Wow. So, draw your 4 season trees. And you're also gonna draw the ground around it so that we can see what the seasons are. So like in the fall, you should have some leaves on the ground. In the winter, it should definitely be like snow. Spring and summer, you're gonna have some grass probably, or I don't know, gravel or something. I would also like for you to think about, is there a verse about trees that I could use and put it on my poster, on my drawing? If you already know a good verse about trees, fantastic, go with that one. If you're like, I have no idea about trees, the only tree I can think of is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, if that's the only tree you can think of, I'm gonna give you a hint. Open up your Bible to Psalm chapter 1, the very first Psalm. And remember, if you're looking for Psalms in your Bible, if you open it up to the middle, usually you're gonna get to Psalms. If you get to Isaiah, go back a little bit, but often we'll open up to the Psalms. And Psalm 1 talks a lot about trees. So find a good tree verse, put it on there. You don't have to hand this one in, but I would love to see your work, especially if you've done a really beautiful job. Please send me a picture. I'd love to see it. Have fun doing this. Have fun using your creativity to show all of the amazing things that God has already done in creation.